Every game, every team, every angle. Locked On Game to Game, your team every day.
Hey everyone, and welcome into Locked On Game to Game Big Ten Edition. I'm Jordan Black. It is week 11 of the college football season. We are back. We've got two Big Ten teams finding themselves in the coveted college football playoff top 4. Ohio State is number 2. They started off the day against an Indiana team ready to end their losing ways, while third-ranked Michigan hosted the Cornhuskers in Ann Arbor. Plus, Illinois looking to bounce back from a loss to Michigan State this week, taking on Purdue. We've got a Big Ten East matchup between Penn State and Maryland, Wisconsin and Iowa facing off with both teams on 2-game win streaks, and Northwestern still eyeing that elusive second conference win. Let's start it off with the Buckeyes this week. CJ Stroud and the number 2 Ohio State team invited the Hoosiers to Columbus on Saturday. The Buckeyes having an incredible year, right? That goes unsaid, leading all of college football in yards per play. This offense is fast and can get to big early leads often, despite last week's slow start against Northwestern, right? Playing their second week without running back Travion Henderson wasn't ideal, but facing an Indiana team that is in the midst of a 6-game losing streak might help things out. As long as Ohio State doesn't overlook the Hoosiers, the outcome of this game probably won't surprise anyone. Locked On Buckeyes host Jay Stevens has the post-game breakdown.
Humiliating the Hoosiers was the game plan for the day, and the Buckeyes accomplished that mission on Saturday afternoon. What's up, guys? My name is Jay Stevens, the host of Locked On Buckeyes, and after the Northwestern game a week ago, the Buckeyes were questioned. Are they physical? Are they tough? Could they play in inclement weather? Well, they answered all those questions today and did those things very well. The Buckeyes offense had 662 yards of total offense. The defense was very physical and dominant as well, holding the Indiana Hoosiers to under 300 total yards of offense and 4.2 yards per play. One of the biggest stories for me for the game was the rushing game of the Buckeyes that had 340 yards on the ground. Mayan Williams, my guy, he went down with an injury in this game, but he still had 15 carries, a $147 on the ground, and 1 touchdown. Stroud, he's still in the Heisman conversation, and he was phenomenal during today's game. 5 touchdown passes, the Buckeyes 10-0, still the number 2 team in the land, and I can't wait to see what they do against the Maryland Terrapins next weekend.
Two teams attempting to salvage their seasons meet on Saturday. Wisconsin traveling on the road to face the Hawkeyes. Wisconsin suffered a road loss to Michigan State before winning their next 2 against Purdue and Maryland. The Badgers looking to build on Braylon Allen's 119-yard rushing game as they take on this tough Hawkeye defense. Iowa ranks 3rd in the FBS in yards against, and after holding Purdue to just 3 points in last week's win, Iowa looks forward to giving those fans something to cheer about. In a game that looked like it would be highly contested, Locked On Badgers host Ryan Herrings gives us the Wisconsin side of the story.
The Badgers drop a critical Big Ten West game 24-10 to Iowa in Kinnick. They go there with everything on the line, and they don't show up. I'm Ryan Herrings, your host of Locked On Badgers, and everything was on the line. The Big Ten West is there for the taking. Illinois dropped a game to Purdue. Wisconsin was almost in control of their destiny for the Big Ten West, and they go to Kinnick, and they don't show up. Graham Mertz is 16-35. The special teams does not show up, does not perform. There's a blocked punt. They gave up a big-time return. The defense was great, but it doesn't matter if special teams doesn't show up and offense doesn't show up. Iowa takes care of business. Wisconsin fails to do much of anything offensively. Graham Mertz isn't there. Braylon Allen rushes for 40 yards. It's a terrible performance offensively for Wisconsin as they fail to show up. They fail to get anything going. And they really relinquish any shot they have at the Big Ten West. It's frustrating for sure, but we're going to continue moving on. I'm Ryan Herrings, your host of Locked On Badgers. For more on the Badgers, check out Locked On Badgers every day, your team every single day.
Locked On Hawkeyes host Trent Condon breaks down Iowa's approach for us.
Iowa picks up a 24-10 win over Wisconsin and keeps the Bull in Iowa City. I'm Trent Condon with the Locked On Hawkeyes podcast, a game that has for years been known for defense. It was the Hawkeye defense that got it done here, including Cooper DeJean. A pick six for a touchdown that was the difference in the ball game. Also had a punt return 41 yards that set up another score. The defense was outstanding. The Iowa special teams, the story once again. Torrey Taylor, excellent block punts, and of course that return from Cooper DeJean. Iowa now, after a rough start to the season, and the offense wasn't very good again here today, they are in control of their own destiny. That's right. Iowa wins their final 2 games at Minnesota and home against Nebraska. They'll be back in the Big Ten championship game. For more, check out Locked On Hawkeyes. I'm Trent Condon.
Support us by supporting our sponsors. Built Bar is a protein bar that tastes like a candy bar. Go to BuiltBar.com and use promo code LOCKEDON15 and you'll get 15% off your next order. After a 3-game losing skid, the Golden Gophers finally played improved ball through the last couple weeks, picking up consecutive wins against Rutgers and Nebraska. Northwestern, however, continued its struggles, still eyeing a second win on the season. The Wildcats came up just short against Ohio State of all teams last week, so maybe that loss can build confidence going into Minnesota on Saturday. What do you say? Locked On Golden Gophers host Kane Robb has the postgame for us.
The Gophers secure a victory 31-3 versus Northwestern. Many might ask, did the Gophers pass the ball? But that's not the right question. It's did they need to pass the ball? And the answer this week was no. 302 yards coming on the ground of their 366 total yards. Mo Ibrahim 178 yards and 3 touchdowns on the ground. For that and more this week on Locked On Golden Gophers, I'm Kane Robb, host of the show. I'll see you there.
And Locked On Northwestern host Carter Bird breaks it down for the Wildcat faithful.
Turns out you need to score points to win. Hi, everyone. This is Carter Bird with Locked On Northwestern. And we're coming to you again after Northwestern's 9th straight loss this season. A 31-3 beatdown at the hands of the Minnesota Golden Gophers. There's just no offense for Northwestern. There were some injuries, obviously, at play at quarterback, and you saw actually 4 different guys take a snap at quarterback in this one. Mo Ibrahim led the way for Minnesota, 36 carries, 178 yards, 3 touchdowns. Minnesota went for over 300 yards of on the ground in this game, and Northwestern just kind of got worn down. They were in it in the first half and then got dominated in the second half, and that's how this one went. For more, check out Locked On Northwestern on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts, your team every day.
Week 11 comes to a close in the Big Ten as we inch closer and closer to bowl season. Each and every week, we'll continue to break down all of the insight and analysis from across our Locked On network for you. Thanks for tuning in this week. I'm Jordan Black, and this has been Game to Game Big Ten Edition.